Hello and welcome back to our channel. I'm Colleen and this is Our Blessed Life, and today we are participating in a collab dealing with the Good and the Beautiful language arts curriculum. So on our video, we're going to be talking about the Good and the Beautiful high school year 3. And this is sort of a do a lesson with me, but at the same time, the Good and the Beautiful high school years are extremely independent. So I'm probably gonna talk about what the parents' role is and, show Katie what she's doing and things like that. So it's not gonna be the same as like if I was showing you, first or second grade where we're sitting beside each other and doing the work. That's completely different from that. But the collab is hosted by Yasmin at Mommy on the Move, and go ahead and check out her channel. She has a lot of homeschooling content, and I think you'll enjoy her channel. And I'm also going to link the collab playlist in the description box below, because I believe she has the Good and the Beautiful covered from kindergarten. I think the only year maybe that we don't have is maybe high school year 2, which if you have questions about that, I can answer those for you. We have completed, this will be our last year of the Good and the Beautiful high school curriculum for Katie, because it only goes through year 3. So we've done years 1, 2, and 3.
Changes every heart, and any heart can change.
I'm going to link another video that I did, the Good and the Beautiful high school language arts review of years 1, 2, and 3 up top and down below in the description box. That video has everything you want to know about using the Good and the Beautiful for homeschooling in high school language arts, including how to create an American literature class, a British literature class, and how to create honors classes. All right, so we use Homeschool Planet for scheduling. So what Katie would do first is she would open up Homeschool Planet and she would look at her assignment for that day. So what we do with scheduling is we take the unit and we schedule it over roughly about 10 days. And if there's any reading, I break that up over 10 days. I'll show you this in Homeschool Planet. You can kind of see that. All right, this is Homeschool Planet, and this is how we schedule all of our homeschool. I wanted to show you this because I want to show you how we schedule out the Good and the Beautiful high school units. So we usually take about 2 school weeks to do 1 unit, where right now in Unit 10 is usually the longest unit, and we do the art as kind of like an optional activity. So I don't schedule in the art. We just kind of come back and do the art if we want to do the art. But everything else I do schedule. So we are a little bit behind because my dad's been in the hospital, but this is showing Friday what we should have gotten done. Spelling Day 1, I have in here to have her make a plan on how to memorize the vocabulary for the exam and then read chapters 5 through 6 in The Call of the Woods. So she's done the reading but hasn't done that. So we're going to go ahead and do the spelling and make a plan for the vocabulary memorization. All right, so this is the next week. So I've got her doing spelling and then reading chapters 7 through 9 in The Call of the Woods. I usually will have her do some reading, some work in the book, and then if there's any spelling or anything like that, that would kind of be a typical day. In this case, I have her reading, so that probably means that she needs to read this in order to do some of these other things in here. In Unit 10, there were pages and pages and pages of vocabulary because it's like a review of all the vocabulary in the whole year. So this is what the unit looks like, and we did not have the paper units this year because they didn't have them printed in time, and they just didn't have the ability for us to do that with year 3. They will for the following years, but they didn't this year. We didn't actually get this until, I think it was like early November or late October. So this is a cover sheet. This is what we use for grading, and it gives you, it tells you how to grade it. I never do the extra credit, but this is the spelling. This is what you'll see us doing today. And then it will tell you if you want to do poetry memorization, the geography cards. So this is just an idea here that, hey, Canada is going to be on the test. That's not really a big deal for Katie because she really already knows her geography. So that's really more of a review for her. She also really knows her Greek and Latin roots, but that is something just to say, hey, this is going to show up on your test. So make sure you're working on that. The vocabulary, it's talking about that you'll need to do the vocabulary. They give you an idea about making like actual physical flashcards. Katie prefers to do Quizlet. Then it will tell you the course reading challenge is actually reading that occurs outside of the units. So that would be an additional book. So when you do the Good and the Beautiful high school years, they will always recommend that you add 2 to 3 extra books to the books that are included with the units. And so we do those outside of the units. So in other words, if I'm going to have 2 weeks scheduled for Unit 10, there will not be any reading challenge books during that time. I'll do those separately, and we find that that works a lot better for us. So this will just be something that we're not doing. And then chapters 5 through 9 in the Call of the Woods. Now this is going to actually be included in the unit. So what I'll do is I'll just take the chapters 5 through 9 and I will divvy that up and assign it over the course of the 2 weeks. Some people take 3 weeks to do these units. We haven't found that we've needed that. So this is all the vocabulary. You're going to have vocabulary in every single unit, but in this unit, again, it's more of a year-end type of thing, or like a complete review. So there's going to be tons of vocabulary, but they've seen all of this before. So this is vocabulary from the whole year that they should already be familiar with, but this will show up on their exam. So I'm going to kind of skip through this. So you can see that a lot of this is vocabulary. Okay, so now we're to another page, and this is on C.S. Lewis. So you're going to read the article. So I would make an assignment about C.S. Lewis. So I would just continue to have her do this until she finishes this assignment. So I would make that like one assignment. And so these questions here are part of that. Okay, now these are grammar exercises, and so I would make that another assignment. So that's kind of how I schedule, as I do little chunks of I'll make an assignment of one little chunk of the unit, that makes sense to do together, like all of C.S. Lewis, or all of the geography, or all of the vocabulary, or whatever. And then there's going to be a review. This review is going to be really long because it's in Unit 10, but usually they're not this long. So this review, I think I have scheduled over a couple of days. Then Norman Rockwell, so I would make that like a separate thing. So the Good and the Beautiful High School Year 3 is really different from the other units because there's a lot more reading within the units, and there's only 4 books that come with it rather than 5. So you're going to have some plays in there and some articles and things like that. There's always a writing project in every unit, and this one is learning how to write a resume. So that's the writing project this time. Okay, it gives you a sample. I feel like the writing projects are very practical in the Good and the Beautiful. They tell you how to do a variety of different writing types, including things like answering exam questions with an essay answer, how to do that quickly, but how to do it thoughtfully and well. Also how to do resumes, and then just, how to do regular papers, whether it's something that's like a research paper or whether it's something on literature that you've read. I feel like they do a really good job. Every time you have to grade something that's in writing, they tell you exactly what to do. They give you a rubric, and you just go in and you see, have they done this? They get 5 points. Have they done this? And so it tells you exactly how to grade it, and I love that. And these are some job postings, more review, and some geography. And then at the end of the unit, you'll have an optional art project. I never assign these. We just go back and do these as we want to. But you could easily assign this if you wanted to do that. But I love the art projects because they're very step-by-step, and it's very easy to do if you have an interest in wanting to do that. They're certainly not required unless you're trying to give an art credit.
So my assignment is spelling day 1. Make a plan how to memorize the vocabulary for the exam. And it says read chapter 5 through 6 in the Call of the Woods, but I have done that.
Okay. All right. So the book that she's reading in Unit 10 is called The Call of the Woods. It's an Edgar Guest collection. It's poetry, right? Mm-hmm. So what was your assignment?
Read chapter 5 through 6.
And so when I assign that on the day, we do school by the week. So she's not necessarily going to do everything on that day if it's like too much or doesn't fit or whatever. But this is the book that she's currently reading in that goes along with this unit. Okay, so this is what the spelling looks like. This is Katie's unit. This year for year 3. They came out with it late, and so your only option was to actually print it out yourself. But normally we order the booklets, and we like that a lot better. So the spelling, they give you 3 days to get everything right. And it's not really spelling words, it's sentences. And it deals with punctuation, spelling, comma usage, all of that kind of stuff. So what we do is we call it out the first time. Katie usually gets the majority of it right the first time. So anything she misses, we do on the second day. If she misses anything on the second day, we do it again on the third day. But I don't know that we've ever had to use the third day because Katie, spelling is really one of her good things. So this is the student portion, and then we've never printed out the teacher manual. We just use it as a PDF on the computer. So she's going to grab that, and I'll show you what that part looks like. Okay, I wanted to show you this. This comes as a download when you buy the Good and the Beautiful high school levels. So they're not really leveled as far as like, freshman, sophomore, junior year. They're just year 1, 2, and 3 and can be done in any order. But we're in high school year 3 and we did do them in order. But this is the answer key and unit test. So this is where you would download or print off your tests for each unit. They call them unit checks, but we call them tests. And then there's also an answer key for each unit. So your student can grade or they can just check. We kind of do an overall grade for the unit without grading like every day. So I allow Katie just to check her own work for that. But this is where we're going to go to get to the spelling. So I'm just going to scroll through to get to unit 10. Okay, so this is unit 10 and this is the spelling. And I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger. So what I would do is I would read number 1. Oh yes, I occasionally forget to apply deodorant before leaving home, which can lead to awkward meetings all day. And then Katie is going to, she's going to attempt to write this out with all the punctuation, all the spelling, all of that, having it exactly correct. And then if she misses it, then what we do is we come down to the day 2 of spelling and we repeat it again. So the grammar rule that they want her to know here is that interjections are set off with a comma or an exclamation point either way. So in this case, they did it with a comma.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
The Nazi scheme to empty the Warsaw Ghetto was both malicious and vile. Okay, so this time Katie got them all right. Occasionally she'll miss 1 or 2 and we'll come in and do a spelling day 2 just to do those 2 that she missed or 1 that she missed. But in this case, she's done, so we don't have to do another day. Okay, do you feel like that the program is written where it really is kind of independent for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like if I wasn't doing the schedule for you, that you could easily break it up yourself into different days?
Yeah.
All right, do you feel like all the vocabulary in the Good and the Beautiful has helped you in any way?
It definitely helped me with the SAT for sure, especially because vocabulary is not something that I'm the brightest in, so.
Yeah, I feel like the vocabulary was something that was really good for you, and then also when they kind of dig a little deeper in the literary analysis, I feel like that was really helpful to you as well. Do you like the fact that they integrated like Greek and Latin root words, geography, art, and things like that into the language arts program?
Mm-hmm. It definitely made it more than just doing regular old language arts every day, which I do like that about it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Katie's in Quizlet, and what she's going to do is make like a new, what do you call it, Katie?
It's a study set of the vocabulary for the entire year, and it just helps me. First of all, copying it in here helps me to memorize it, and I can also
do like the little games that they have on here.
To practice it, yeah, before your test. So she's making a study set of the vocabulary in Unit 10, which is vocabulary from the entire Year 3. And she just creates a new study set in Quizlet, and then she goes in and she enters the word and the definition, and she'll get them all in there, and that will be the way that she studies. It works really well. We've kind of done this with a lot of different subjects, and she really likes it. If you haven't ever used Quizlet, you can use it just kind of like online flashcards, but they also have games you can play with it. It makes it a little bit more fun. She doesn't like to use ones that have already been created because she feels like the act of creating them helps her memorize it, so she always makes her own. All right, and this is the last thing that she's going to do for her language arts today, so we're going to go ahead and leave it here. If you have any questions on the Good and the Beautiful High School Year 3 or any of the other high school years, please let us know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.